we expand out of our physical bodies. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. You mentioned that there's a lot of lies that we're kind of told, we're believing, and nobody questions these things. In your opinion, what's the biggest lie that
there's so many
that, I mean, we could elaborate on them, but like when somebody says, hey, this is what I believe, this is what happens.
Right.
What's like that one thing that you say like, nah, that's not true.
Okay. When they talk about death being final, they mean you drop your physical body, but they tell us that we go either from here and then straight to heaven. A lot of religions or whatever they consider to be heaven. Okay. That's not true. We go into different levels and different dimensions, and we are not dead. And a lot of people say mediums talk to the dead and therefore they're evil because it's in the Bible not to talk to the dead. Talking to the dead means people who've stepped away from God and don't accept that. They have stepped away. They cannot ascend because they are not of God. They have stepped away. Those are the dead. I'm not talking to them.
Right.
That's not who I'm talking to. I mean, you can pick up on their energy, but they're stuck on this level and they don't excel past it. So that is a huge lie. And the lie, I was at the mortuary, don't ask me why, but anyway, I was at the mortuary 2 weeks ago, and the lady going over the prices with me, her relative had passed, and she actually thinks that it's important, like what coffin you put them into. And I was like, if you care what you put your chicken into after you eat it after dinner and it's dead, okay.
Yeah.
Because they're not there. They don't even, they're not there. You can go to the graveyard, but your relatives are here. Like if you're here, they're here.
Right.
So even if you go to Japan, they're there with you because it's not the same. They're not.
No, yeah.
They're not in a box under the ground. That is the stupidest thing I've ever heard. No offense to anybody. But I mean, I understand if it's your belief system, but they leave I've seen them leave the physical.
Right.
The kid on the motorcycle I saw pass, I saw when he stepped out, and he stepped out in color, and it's like a mauve color, and out. I saw it with my mother-in-law too. And if you've seen people die, you see them leave and instantly they're free.
If I may ask you, how have you seen a lot of people pass?
Quite a few, yeah.
And the first time that you witnessed that their soul kind of like leave their body, what were you thinking?
They're free. I swear.
Wow.
They're free. Yeah, I got in trouble when I was 12 when my grandfather died. He was like 97. So, I mean, it was his time. And I'd come home from camp and my dad had picked me up at the bus station and he's like, your Gramps is in the hospital. We're going to go see him. As I was running into the room, my dad was talking to the nurse and they had told him that his dad had just passed. So I did not know that. I ran into the room and I saw him beside his body. So his body was on a chair because they had to strap him down because he was dizzy, whatever, old people things. I was over here talking to him. I could see him standing there. And my dad was like, why are you doing this? And we argued all the way into the elevator. And he's like, you have to stop doing this. And I'm like, but he's right there.
Wow.
So my dad hand over the mouth and dragged me to the car and he's like, go home, because he had to drive me home. Wow. But yeah, so it was a battle. And I will tell you another thing. When my father died, when he passed, 2006, my son, Jason, was 13 and he'd met him only once. And I was, it was the day after Christmas. I hadn't been called. I didn't know he died. I did not pick up on his energy. My son, Jason, came downstairs and he says, you know that grandpa? And he described him. And I said, yeah. And he goes, yeah, he told me to tell you there is a God. And he went back to sleep. And then I got the phone call.
Wow.
So my son, my son is very psychic. He will never admit it. I mean, men don't like to admit it usually.
Why do you think that is?
Because I think it makes them seem like they're out of control. Men like logical, like this money in my wallet, this house, this backyard, I mow my grass, I go to work, I build this, it's conceptual. Yeah. And so when you're saying something that nobody can prove, which then brings it to faith. Now, if you know, like if you've experienced it, you know it, but there's a lot of people that lie too and prey on people's sadness when someone dies. And that is not good.